Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the most pivotal battles in history, and I'm your host, General Biography. Today we're going to explore one of the most significant conflicts of the American Revolutionary War, the Battle of Camden. This battle, fought on August 16, 1780, was a crucial turning point in the war's southern campaign, and its outcome would have far-reaching consequences for both the British and American forces. The year is 1775, and the seeds of rebellion are being sown throughout the colonies. In South Carolina, a group of patriots, known as the Sons of Liberty, are secretly gathering in the dusty town of Camden, nestled in the heart of the state's rural landscape. This small village, situated near the Wateree River, would eventually become a critical crossroads in the war. The surrounding countryside, with its rolling hills, dense forests, and swampy lowlands, would prove to be a challenging terrain for both armies to navigate. The British strategy, under the command of General Sir Henry Clinton, aimed to divide and conquer the colonies by exploiting the divisions between Loyalists and Patriots. In 1779, British forces began their southern campaign, targeting key cities and ports in South Carolina and Georgia. The city of Charleston, with its strategic harbor and defenses, was a prime target for the British. After a grueling siege, British forces captured the city on May 12, 1780, dealing a significant blow to American morale. As the summer of 1780 approached, General Charles Cornwallis, a seasoned commander with experience in the Southern Theater, took command of British forces in South Carolina. He was determined to crush the rebellion and secure British control over the region. Meanwhile, American forces, under the command of General Horatio Gates, were regrouping in the north, planning their counterattack. The historical context of this battle is deeply rooted in the complexities of the American Revolution. The southern colonies, with their diverse population of planters, farmers, and merchants, were a hotbed of rebellion against British rule. The British Army, with its strict discipline and superior firepower, was determined to quell the uprising and maintain control over the lucrative trade routes and resources of the region. In the months leading up to the Battle of Camden, tensions were running high in the southern colonies. Skirmishes between British and American forces had become increasingly frequent, and the stage was set for a major confrontation. The town of Camden, with its strategic location at the crossroads of several key roads, would become the focal point of this conflict. As we approach the summer of 1780, the fate of the revolution hangs in the balance. The British Army is marching towards Camden, intent on crushing the American rebellion once and for all. As we explore this critical moment in history, let's immerse ourselves in the sights and sounds of the battlefield. The sun beats down on the rolling hills and dense forests surrounding Camden, casting a golden glow over the landscape. The air is thick with tension as the two armies face off, their cannons and muskets at the ready. The British Army, with its disciplined ranks and superior firepower, is a formidable force to be reckoned with. Cornwallis, a seasoned commander with experience in the Southern Theater, has carefully planned his strategy to crush the American rebellion. He's aware of the terrain, having scouted the area beforehand, and knows that the key to victory lies in controlling the high ground. Meanwhile, Gates, the American commander, is determined to hold his ground and defend the revolution. Despite being outnumbered, he's confident in the bravery and determination of his troops. As the battle commences, the sound of cannons booming and muskets firing fills the air, echoing through the valleys and hills surrounding Camden. One of the most significant decisions made by Gates during this battle was to deploy his troops in a traditional linear formation, with the North Carolina militia on the left flank and the Virginia troops on the right. However, this tactic proved disastrous, as the British Army, with its superior training and discipline, was able to outflank and overwhelm the American lines. As the battle rages on, the American troops begin to falter, and Cornwallis seizes the opportunity to launch a decisive counterattack. The British cavalry charges forward, cutting down any opposition in their path, while the infantry provides covering fire with their muskets. The sound of horses' hooves pounding the earth and the cries of the wounded fill the air as the American lines begin to break. In the heat of the battle, a remarkable moment of bravery occurs when a young American officer, Lieutenant Colonel William Washington, leads a daring charge against the British cavalry. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Washington's men fight valiantly, and their courage inspires other American troops to regroup and continue the fight. The American army has suffered heavy casualties, and Gates is forced to retreat, leaving behind many of his wounded and dead comrades. Cornwallis, on the other hand, has secured a crucial victory, one that will give the British control over the southern colonies for months to come. In the words of General Nathanael Greene, who would later become one of the most prominent American commanders, the Battle of Camden was a severe blow to our cause, but it also taught us valuable lessons about the importance of discipline, training, and adaptability on the battlefield. This quote encapsulates the significance of the Battle of Camden, not only as a turning point in the war, but also as a moment of growth and learning for the American army. The consequences of this battle will be far-reaching, shaping the course of the war in the South and ultimately contributing to the final outcome of the Revolution. As the dust settled on the battlefield, General Horatio Gates was forced to retreat, leaving behind many of his wounded and dead comrades. The American army had suffered heavy casualties, with estimates suggesting that over 1,000 troops were killed or wounded. The British, on the other hand, had secured a crucial victory, one that would give them control over the southern colonies for months to come. In the aftermath of the battle, Gates's decision-making was heavily criticized by his contemporaries and historians alike. His deployment of troops in a traditional linear formation, despite being outnumbered, proved disastrous. The British Army's superior training and discipline allowed them to outflank and overwhelm the American lines, leading to a decisive victory. As the American army regrouped and retreated, they were pursued by the British cavalry, led by Lieutenant Colonel Banastre Tarleton. The British cavalry was notorious for its brutality, and many American soldiers were killed or wounded in the pursuit. The retreat was chaotic, with troops scattered across the countryside, and it would take weeks for the American army to regroup and reorganize. The Battle of Camden also had significant consequences for the civilian population. Many residents of Camden and surrounding areas were forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge in other parts of the country. The British occupation of the southern colonies led to a period of economic hardship and social unrest, as loyalists and patriots clashed over issues of loyalty and allegiance. Despite the setbacks, the American army learned valuable lessons from the Battle of Camden. General Nathanael Greene, who would later become one of the most prominent American commanders, recognized the importance of discipline, training, and adaptability on the battlefield. The American army began to adopt new tactics, including hit-and-run attacks and guerrilla warfare, which would ultimately prove effective against the British. The British victory may have given them control over the southern colonies, but it also galvanized American resistance and led to a renewed commitment to the cause of independence. In the words of General Greene, the Battle of Camden was a severe blow to our cause, but it also taught us valuable lessons about the importance of perseverance and determination in the face of adversity. In the months and years that followed, the American army would regroup and reorganize, eventually launching a series of successful campaigns against the British. The Battle of Camden may have been a defeat, but it was also a turning point, marking a shift towards a more effective and adaptable approach to warfare. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.